What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the review for American Horror Story. This is Season 9, 1984, Episode 4, titled True Killers. So, you guys, this was a very good episode. So, without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and just jump right into the video. Alright, you guys, so the episode, it opens up. Now, this episode, it opened in the past because it started out, it said then. So, we see Montana. This is back when Montana first met the Night Stalker. So we see, she's teaching her aerobics class, and we see a figure outside of the window of the place with his hands, on the window. So then he goes inside of there, and he's dancing, and it's just really odd and really weird. I'm like, is he having a stroke, having a seizure? Does he have epilepsy? What is up with this dude? So, Montana got into one of the dudes in her class. His name was Ron. So after the class was over with, Montana goes into the locker room. When she goes into her locker room and she goes to her locker, she realizes that she's stepping in some blood. Then she looks up and there's Ron's dead body hanging with his I think she actually think he was hanging from his intestines, which were showing. And, the Night Stalker's like, you like that? You see my work? I'm like, dude, you killed someone. So then she's like, oh, okay. So they have, they start to get freaky with each other. I'm like, there's a dead body hanging behind you. There's blood on the floor. And mind you, he went down on her feet and he started licking the blood. I'm like, okay, we really doing the most with this. And then we see them that they've had sex with the dead body and they're covered in the dead person's blood. I'm like, are you serious? So then, Montana's talking about how she wants him to kill Brooke for her, and she wanted it to be painful, a painful death. And we also find out that the reason that she wants Brooke dead is because the best man, Sam, I think that's his name, was her brother, and she knows for a fact that Montana fucked her brother. Girl, you don't know that for a fact. You just are assuming that. And I'm just like, okay, so we got a camp full of nutcases. A camp full of nutcases. And we're going to talk about these nutcases in just a minute. Alright, so then we jump to the present day, and it picks up where last week's episode left off with Montana asking the Night Stalker, why was Brooke not dead? So he's like, hell, it ain't for lack of trying. I've tried to kill the girl, but she's like a cat with 9 freaking lives. So, Montana tells him that Jingles is here. He's like, the actual Mr. Jingles? He's like, yes. She's like, yes, he's here. He killed 2 guys in front of me. They were asking for that one. Literally. So she says, you know what we need to do? We need to find Montana. Not Montana. We need to find Brooke, kill her, and get the hell out of Dodge. So then we do see Xavier, Trevor, and Chet. They go to the infirmary. And, they get Chet to lay down on one of those cots. And he passes out. And Xavier thinks that he's dead. And, Trevor checks his pulse. Trevor's like he's not dead. He's just, he's just passed out from the lack of, the loss of blood. So then he goes into one of the, the cabinets. And he pulls out a syringe. And it has something in it that kind of gives a person like a boost of adrenaline. Make their heart, beat super fast. So he does do that. He's like, Xavier's like, but wouldn't that kill him? He's like, it can't hurt him. Like, the worst it could do is kill him. He's already dying. So, oh shit, excuse me, y'all. Yeah, the worst that could happen is he would die, which he's already dying because he's losing blood. But when he does give him the shot, Chet bounces up and he's fine. Like, Chet has 9 lives, just like Brooke does. So then Trevor's talking about, Montana going, Montana and Ray going to get the cops. And Chet is like, yeah, I don't know about that. Because Ray just told me that the cops are after him for something that he did in college. So then, Xavier's talking about this is not, this, it can't be, nothing can be worse than doing porn. They're like, huh? He was like, oh, don't know what I'm talking about. So then he's like, oh, porn. Excuse me, he said porn. The guy that was looking at you, Trevor, he had a car. And then he's like, that's our getaway. So now Trevor and Xavier are gonna go try to find the car, but they're also gonna try to find Birdie and Margaret and get them the hell out of there. But they're gonna leave Chet right there. I'm like, y'all gonna leave the man there who was just stuck by a spike. He can't move. He's losing blood. Like, so y'all gonna leave him here? And then Trevor gives him one of those scissors, like when you have a bandage that you cut. I'm like, Trevor, those scissors are dull. They're not sharp. I don't think they're sharp. I don't think those. I don't think those ace bandages like. I don't think those scissors are sharp because they curve. I'm like, what is he gonna do with that? Cut him? Let me cut your jacket, Mr. Jingles. Like, what is he gonna do? Cut his jacket? Oh my God! And then y'all gonna leave this fool here who was stuck by a spike. Smart people. So then we see Margaret. She has found the dead bodies of those two Cracker Jack losers that were pretending to be Jingles. And then Trevor also finds her. He says that Jingles is there. And, he's telling her, like, to come with her. And she's like, she's not leaving. She's like, the campers are coming tomorrow. And they're going to be safe because I have a gun. I'm like, you nutcase. You see that there are two people right there that are dead in front of you. And his doctor came to you and told you he was on the loose and he was coming after you. But you still think that you think you're safe with this gun. Okay, Margaret. Margaret is a few screws short of sane. And we're gonna discuss Margaret. We're gonna discuss the hell out of Margaret. Alright, so we do see that Xavier, he found Birdie, and Birdie was making sandwiches for the kids that are coming to the camp tomorrow. I'm like, so you making a sandwich late at night? I mean, it don't take much to make a sandwich, and I can imagine you can make that sandwich, before lunchtime, but whatever. So, Xavier telling her that Jingles is back. Birdie, however, didn't believe him until she heard those keys jiggling, and then he comes in, she's like, you know what? I know someone that used to like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So she makes him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then he sits down to eat it, and Xavier is hid under the table, and he makes a noise. So, Jingles hears that, and, Xavier tries to run, and Jingles grabs him by the collar, pulls his ass back, and then Birdie comes up behind him. She has something in her hand, and she clocks him over the back, and he knocks her ass out the way, and then we see him, he's just stabbing the shit out of Birdie. I'm like, damn, Birdie. Rest in peace, because I really thought Birdie was dead at that point. And then we see that Xavier, he put Xavier in an oven, and the oven is on, so Xavier is burning. I'm like, oh, that reminded me of a scene from what movie? Which Halloween? It wasn't Halloween. Yes, it was Halloween. It is Halloween. It is Halloween. The Return of Michael. Nope, The Curse of Michael Myers. When Michael put that woman in that dryer. It reminded me of that scene when she was in the dryer. I'm like, damn, you stuffed the body in the dryer? And there's another movie where somebody stuck somebody in the oven and they were burning. Oh, I think I know which movie that is. That is from Urban Legend, if I'm not mistaken. That's from Urban Legend. It was a movie where someone was burning. It's gonna bother me because I know there's a movie where somebody was put in the oven and they burned to death. Damn, that's gonna bother me. And I'm pretty positive I have the movie. I'm 100% positive that I had this movie where the person was in the oven and they were burning to death because they kept touching it. Oh, no. I got it. They weren't in the oven. It was Final Destination 3 where those white girls went to that tanning salon and, they got stuck in a tanning booth and the tanning booth was burning them to death. That's what it is, Final Destination 3. But also Michael Myers, like I said, he did put that woman, Laurie's adopted family's, that mother of that family, of the Strode family, he threw her ass into the dryer after he killed her. because you could just hear that dryer just, going and go when Daddy went in there to find her, and it was just going and going, and actually it was just her head. Whom Michael Myers is one hell of a killer. Speaking of Michael Myers, because we're just gonna get off of something just for a brief second. So I have been reading some rumors that Halloween Kills. I believe they're currently filming the movie, and I saw a rumor. Don't know how true it is that um, Sheriff Brackett is making a return to the movie. I would be excited to see Sheriff Brackett. I mean, because they have brought a lot of people back. I mean, because Kyle Richards is coming back as little Lindsay Wallace. I don't know who is playing Tommy Doyle. Because that's going to be interesting. Who's playing Tommy Doyle in this? Or are they bringing Tommy Doyle back? That would be interesting, And man, gotta say, rest in peace to Donald Pleasance, who played Dr. Sam Loomis. Man, I miss Dr. Loomis. Like, I really, truly miss Dr. Loomis. That was my boy. Michael. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna get back onto the show, you guys. So yeah, Xavier, he was in the oven. So then we see Brooke. So Brooke comes to, and she's in the shed. And, she manages to get herself out of the shed only to get caught in some traps that, technically her name is not Rita. She kept calling her Rita, but her name is Donna. So then Donna set for her. And then Donna, it reveals to her that, she set all this up in motion. She was a reason that Jingles is here. She wants to observe Jingles. I'm like, you really do realize you're in that case as well, right? So like I said, Xavier, he was in that oven, he was burning. And like I said, I thought Birdie was dead, but Birdie was not dead. Birdie actually freed Xavier from the oven. I mean, but his skin, though, it was just peeling and everything. I'm like, ugh. I would prefer to be dead if my skin looked like Xavier's skin. So Birdie grabs a knife from behind her, and she gives it to Xavier. And he's like, I can't do it. And she's like, please. And he takes the knife and he just shoves it in her chest. And slowly, I'm like, bruh, why go through that agony? Like, that was agonizing. Like, I know you don't want to kill Birdie. I know you had a thing for Birdie. I don't know why. Like, just take the knife and be like, I'm sorry. And be done with it. Be like they do on The Walking Dead when somebody, either when somebody before they turn, be like it is on The Walking Dead and just ixnay with them, like just kill them. But you're not in the post-apocalyptic world, but still, just put her out of misery. But he did eventually kill Birdie. I'm like, oh, poor Birdie. Rest in peace to Birdie. All right, so we see Montana. Montana is walking about. She's looking for Brooke, and then she does hear Brooke. So she goes up to Brooke, and Brooke tells her that Rita is the one that set this all up, and that she needs to try to help her get free. And Montana pretends to try to help her get free, and Brooke tells her, go find something sharp so that you can cut this. I'm like, if she goes and finds something sharp, she's gonna kill you. So you might want to try to figure out a way to get out of there your damn self. So then we see Margaret, so yeah, she's in her cabin and she gets her gun and then she finds this bear, and then she has a little bit of a flashback, and she got that bear from Mr. Jingles, because we find out that she and Mr. Jingles had a little thing going on. I'm like, ew. Mr. Jingles is how old, and how old was Margaret in 1970? Okay. And the other counselors are making fun of them, talking about, these two widows would find love with each other. And I'm just like, ew, that's a little nasty. A little nasty. Hella nasty. Hella nasty. And, Margaret is talking to him about, she wants him to, make things right for her with those camp counselors. I'm like, oh, okay, Margaret, so you sent him to kill the camp counselors. So you're not completely innocent in this, which we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So then we see the Night Stalker. So, he is looking for Brooke, and then Montana finds him, and she tells him where to find Brooke. So then he goes to find Brooke, and, once he finds her, he gets there. Who else is there? Jingles. And who also was watching in the shadows? Donna. So we see, the Night Stalker. He tells Jingles that he's gonna kill him, and Jingles says, "You don't want to do that." And then Jingles and the Night Stalker just get into a stabbing match, a punching match with each other, and then Montana also finds Donna, and she and Donna get into a fight with each other, and Donna and Montana getting the best of each other, Jingles and the Night Stalker getting the best of each other, and eventually Jingles, there's a tree branch that's hanging, there's a tree branch that's sticking out, and Jingles takes the Night Stalker, he throws him, he put his head and pushes his head onto the branch. That also reminds me of a scene, that reminds me of a few scenes. That reminds me of a scene from The Curse of Michael Myers when when that nurse was trying to get Jamie and the baby out, and Michael grabbed her by her face and he pushed her into that spike and killed her. And then it also reminds me of Halloween Resurrection. He did the same thing in Resurrection. He put somebody on something sharp, put their face on it. I'm like, damn. At least with Michael, at least with Michael and Jason and all them, I can't say the same for Freddy. Freddy's a punk bitch to me. But when it comes to Jason and Michael, at least they kill you on impact. So you when you're dead, you're just dead. And then like you gotta sit there and agonize about it. You are dead, dead, dead. Like super dead, hella dead, beyond dead, not coming back. I mean, you can't come back from the dead, but they be dead like, ooh. So that's what I got. I gotta give it to Michael and Jason. They kill you and it's instantaneous. So it's over. Except for Jamie's death. That death was horrible. He put her on that thing and it just crushed her inside. I'm like, oh, I would have preferred him just to slit my throat, stab me. But damn, the way she died, now that was a horrible death. Super horrible death. Alright, so we see crazy Margaret. So Margaret is at the cabin and she's praying to God for strength and a sign. And Jingles comes in and she's like, "Is that you?" And then, he tells her he's there to finish what he started. And then we see him kind of flash back to when he was, taken to the, insane asylum. We see that he was shot. And, he said he didn't do it, but the doctors said, "Yeah, you did it." So then we see Margaret. She tells him, "You don't remember anything, do you?" And, she says, "You made a promise to me, but you didn't keep that promise. So I had to take care of everything." And then we see it was Margaret that killed everybody in the camp in 1970. And he said, "But I thought it was," he said, "I thought it was me. You made me believe it was me." She said, "Yeah, I did a good job of that." But he said, "But the ears, that's my thing from the war." She says, "Yes, that is your thing from the war, and I use that against you." She said, that helped me cement everything. And then we see her, Margaret, she killed everybody. And then we see her, she is cutting her ear off. I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is crazy. Kind of like, what's her name character, so if you guys watch Screams 4 and you know that Emma Roberts was the killer in Scream 4. Spoiler alert if you never saw the movie. Emma Roberts was the killer in the movie. And, Emma Roberts killed her own mom. Again, spoiler alert if you've never saw the movie. That movie is how old? So if you never saw it, I'm so sorry, but I just spoiled it for you. But, she killed her mom. She did everything. Like, I mean, God, talk about demented. Demented. But yeah, she did it. She used him, and then she also said she tried to put this behind her by opening up this camp, hoping that she could be an example to the kids. I'm like, being an example of what a nutcase is, because you're a certified nutcase. So as Jingles tries to charge her, she has her gun in her hand and she goes boom, boom, boom. I'm like, he's not dead. Horror movie 101, when you shoot him, aim for the head. Aim for the head. Because if you don't aim for the head, they're not dead. I mean, how many times have we saw Michael Myers get shot? I mean, Dr. Loomis shot him 6 times in the original Halloween, and the man fell off of a balcony and then died. And I mean, he didn't die. He didn't die there. He did not die in a hospital when Dr. Loomis set it on fire. And we're just gonna do Halloween 1 and 2. We're not talking about the events of Halloween 4, 5, 6, H2O, or Resurrection, because those don't exist in the universe that we're currently in. Like, this man has been shot so many times. He's been burned to death. Technically, he hasn't been burned to death, but like, and even with Scream, when Sydney shot her brother, Randy said they're superhuman. Shooting them once in the chest won't. Shooting them once or twice in the chest won't help. You always got to go for the head. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, yeah, you must don't know too much about. I mean, this is the '80s, so technically they wouldn't know a lot about serial killers from horror movies. But yeah, if you want to make sure that they're dead, head, Dewey, head. Man, I'm enjoying this season because it's just giving me so much horror stuff to talk about, because I'm a slasher film freak. I love slasher films. So then, we see Trevor and Chet, they hear the gunshots, and then they run into Montana. So everyone is together with the exception of Montana, with the exception of Brooke and Xavier, and, Margaret and a dead birdie. So, Montana says that she was with Brooke, but they got separated. I'm like, got separated. You and, Ray with this separated stuff. So then we see Trevor. He does, he says he's going to go find Margaret. He does, however, find Margaret, and Margaret tells him, he's like, you got him. She's like, yeah. And, I'm so, I got him, and he killed you. And Trevor's like, he killed me. And she says, yeah, and stabs him. I'm like, Trevor, you didn't catch that when she said what she said? I would have been like, huh? Oh, no, you know what? I'm out. Like, don't touch me. And she kills him. I'm like, you kind of asked for that one. I would have left the crazy. I mean, come on. When the girl is talking about, she's weird. Like, I'm sorry. Margaret would have been on her own if it was me. Somebody that eccentric, I would have left that crazy broad. I'm just keeping it real with you. Would have left Margaret a long time ago. Long the fuck time ago. So then we see Xavier. He runs into Jingles, who says that it was never him. And then, Xavier tries to fight him, but then we see that Jingles has disappeared. And then Brooke shows up, and, he says that Jingles is here. She says, where? And then, we hear a big boom in the background, and then we go and see that Blake's car has burst into flames. And then, Margaret is telling her story that, Trevor tried to save her, but Jingles ended up killing him. And then to close out the episode, which was super duper uber weird, so the Night Stalker, he died. Like I said, Jingles pushed his head into a tree branch. His head fell off. But then we see this fool levitating, and his body is kind of like regenerating and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. This is the devil inside of him. And Donna sees him, and he just gives her a devilish look. I'm like, you know what? I would have hid a little bit higher. I would have got a little bit better hiding spot, so he would have never saw me. But you guys, that was the episode. Overall, great episode. So be sure to like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and I will see you guys later. And also share this video.